Hey, Michael, I'm so happy to meet you. I'm doing these interviews from the past 22 years, but I'm a huge fan. Honestly, I'm so happy to meet you finally. How's your
No,
day
es
so far?
imposible porque tú tienes 15 años, ¿no?
¿Qué estás hablando, loco? No, Dios.
Does anyone ever say to you, Silencio, Bruno?
Say all the time. And we don't talk about Bruno, so
Okay.
we're talking about you today. Let me tell you a story. Like a bunch of years ago, I was in New York. I went to the movie theater. I just saw Down with Love. I fall with the movie. I ran to the next Virgin Record store and buy the soundtrack. And I discovered this guy, Michael Bublé. And look what I found here. I got your first album with me.
Wow, look at that. I remember that movie. It was Renee Zellweger and
Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor. It was a cute, very
Yes.
cute movie.
Very cute movie. And
Now
for
with
me
love
was
follows rice and shoes. I remember.
Yes, for me it was a breaking point because I discovered your music there, and since there, every single album, Michael Bublé is here again. So congratulations for the new work.
Thank you very much. You're very sweet.
How difficult is after so many years, to get the perfect playlist who suit you and say, okay, I want to get a combination of contemporary style, like adult contemporary, but never forget about the big band and the swing and all that.
It's always difficult. It's always, I'm so careful because I always want to continue the legacy of my heroes.
Yes.
And I know my heroes, Tony Bennett, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, the great arrangers and writers, Sammy Cahn. And I'm always careful that I always want to keep this alive and to be a part of continuing the legacy and introducing it to new fans. But at the same time, I'm a singer-songwriter, and it's important for me to fulfill my need of creating and writing pop songs, really.
Yeah.
And so I always try to show growth without ever forgetting the bass, without ever forgetting that my passion comes from jazz, and I love jazz. I love the genre.
I think it's very important. For me, it was very special because, as you say, when I was in high school, every teenager are in love with Guns N' Roses, and I have in my room a picture of Frank Sinatra in Capitol Records. I always be a jazz lover, and when I discover you, I feel in some way a relief because I say, okay, there's new generation, there's a new ways of thinking, and as you say, we keep the tradition of making big bands and swings. So thank you for that.
My pleasure. It's been my pleasure. It really has.
But when you started a few years ago, and when you talk to your people, to your producers, or to your family, okay, I want to do this, what they say is like, man, this is music for all people. What do you want to do?
No, I think they were definitely I don't think it was a huge surprise to my family. I was always very close with my grandfather.
Uh-huh.
And I mean, listen, I started singing in those clubs and I was 16. And so they knew very young that this is who I was. It was what I wanted to do. But when I started, it was independent. And so I would do all of these shows and these festivals that were indie festivals.
Okay.
And it was like so different than what other people were doing. And it took me 10 or 11 years to finally get signed, to a point where I thought, okay, this may not ever happen for me. And I was going to be a journalist because finally I said, well, I need to get a job at some point and make money if I want to have a family. So I got so lucky, so lucky. But I tried really hard, but everybody said the same thing. Wow, you're a very, talented, nice kid, but we don't think this is ever going to make money. You're never going to sell records. This music is old. But because I love pop music and rap and hip hop and R&B and soul, I always tried to infuse those styles with big band. We had great success mixing pop with this. I loved it because I'm a young guy, has a sensibility.
Exactly.
And
yes,
and then you know what? Like when we won Grammys and stuff for it, all of a sudden people say like, "Wow, okay, maybe this is."
We always told you you should do this.
Exactly, brilliant. Yeah, exactly. Truthfully, I think what I really am is a producer. I know I'm a singer, I know I'm an entertainer, but I think what I'm best at is producing. I'm a producer. Everything you hear, every note, everything, of course, you know, and then I'm surrounded by these amazing people that take my ideas and just execute and make it perfect, you know.
I think the art is like that. It's like you are full of energy and creativity that you need to create the things that you love. Why do you think jazz music is like 60, 70 years old, sometimes 80 years old, you know, some of the songs, but it's still here? We got you, I think, as the main representative of the whole genre, but Lady Gaga did it. A lot of contemporary.
I love Gaga. I'm gonna end up. You watch. I'm gonna end up working with her.
Please,
actually,
yes,
we did a show for Tony Bennett, and she was so sweet. And we were singing together, and she came to me. She came to me and she said, "Hey, let's do something." And I said, "Yes, let's do something." She's
for the next album, baby.
She's a wonderful artist. Really.
And also, I find out an orchestra in Germany who made only music from the 1920s. There's another one in London who made only music from the 30s. So why do you think our passion for jazz is still going and going?
Because we're human, because the songs have incredibly strong melodies, really strong melodies, because the musicianship is so heavy and beautiful, because the words are supported by those melodies, and because most of the time we are singing about love. And I don't care if you're gay or straight, black, white, young, old, rich, poor. We are human beings, and we all feel these things. We hurt, we hope, we fall in love, we're depressed, and we're down and we're up. And these songs they're just for everyone. And you know what else? I think a lot of the songs were written when we were, as human beings, we're going through incredibly difficult, strenuous times. When I think of COVID and the pandemic, people were afraid and people were losing hope. And I think there's always a need for music. It just soothes our souls and helps to connect us. So
it's food for the soul. That's for sure. Totally. The art is always like that. The entertainment business is always keeping the people high, happy, and with hope and everything.
Food for the soul. You're making me hungry. I want ceviche.
I met your beautiful wife in the show. She came to Lima, and I got an interview with her. She was lovely as always. But you never have a show in Peru. So when it's coming?
It's got to come soon. I mean, I love Peru. I got to come soon.
To finish, for your next album, I need to ask you for a song. So if you
what
can
song?
do it. Sing with the strings of my heart.
Are you talking about zing, zing, zing goes the trolley?
No. That's the trolley song. So find out.
Sing it for me a bit. Sing it for a bit. Oh, I know that song. And I look at you. Yeah.
Exactly. Sing with the strings of my heart. Yeah.
Was that Liza Minnelli, or who did that?
It's Judy Garland.
Also,
Thank you. Judy Garland, and also Frank Sinatra made an amazing arrangement for him. So find out, do your research, and maybe
I will begin to steal right away.
Okay, Michael, big hug for you. Muchas gracias, Che. Gracias por tu tiempo.